If you joined any of my lives yesterday, you will probably know that I was an emotional wreck, vexed by demons, vexed by the weight of the world, if you will, life. Life has just been life and over this last 6 months for me. Let me break it down for you. Within the last 6 months, 7 months or so, well, 7, 8 months, went through breakup, living on the streets for two and a half, about 2.5 months, getting this place, maintaining this place. My father passing away at the beginning of the year. My bike breaking down consistently because my means of transportation, my scooter getting stolen, and then just the cherry on top of everything was I lost my Switch yesterday. My game system, my Nintendo Switch. I lost it. I don't know if I lost it at work. I don't know if I lost it on the way to the bus. But by the time I got on the bus to play it, it wasn't there. So from the job to the bus, it was gone. I was irritated. Irritated because these things are not easily replaceable for a person that is extremely, financially strapped, so to speak. Now I'm not hurting for money as far as taking care of myself. I am able to maintain this meager lifestyle of myself as long as I show up to work, as long as I'm consistent in my craft and trying to um, make content. I'm good, right? But one little emergency, one thing can go wrong and it could set me back again. And that's a fear of mine that I don't want to experience. And I'm trying my best to get myself out of the mindset of thinking like that because the first thing I think of, as I said in the video yesterday, was the best thing for me to probably do is to get a second job. Second job, sacrifice more of my time to maybe put some money away that would eventually be depleted as I upgrade my lifestyle. And if I wanted to maintain whatever lifestyle I obtained from there, let's say working two jobs, I would have to continue to work two jobs to maintain that lifestyle, sacrificing more of my time here past my half life. I'll be 43 in October this year. So time, there's only so much time a nigga got left, right? And in that time, I would like to accomplish some things um, that would make me feel proud of the time that I spent here. That's just how I feel. And what are those things? People say everything isn't about money. No, this isn't about money. It's about accomplishment. Certain things that in my mind, I feel that I want to see come to fruition. I would like to see all three of my children grow up, be healthy, um, minded people, healthy in body and spirit. I would love to see that. There's no guarantee that I would ever see that, just like my father didn't get to bear witness to my life. These are the things that nip at me, right? A cycle of despair, so to speak, and uncertainty from just being poor. And because if the money was there, these are not things that I would worry about. I would be able to make the trip to see my kids. I would be able to bring them into my life. I would be able to afford counseling and things like that for myself and for my family to heal and to maturate and grow. But there's no guarantee unless that money comes. That money doesn't come from me getting a second job at a gas station somewhere. Even then, that is not enough money for that. And also, you sacrifice time. I bring this up because I say there's a poverty mindset in people like myself because I've always made a baseline amount of money because that's where my mind has always been. It's a baseline. Oh, if I could take care of this, if I could take care of that, I'm fine. Right? And that is a poverty mindset because when I was growing up, with my mother being a single mom and all that jazz, blah, blah, we were homeless more times than I could freaking count. We were without more times than I can count because of mismanagement of funds, because of lack of financial discipline, however you want to put it. We were put in precarious spots many times with me growing up, and that stuck with me. So the survival mindset that I live in is constant. And so when I think about making money, I think about baseline money. I think about, I don't want to say the bare minimum, but I guess it's the bare minimum. As long as I can pay my rent, as long as I got lights, as long as I got some food in my stomach, I'm fine. But it's hard for me to think beyond that. It's hard for me to think, well, there's an abundance that comes with certain things. Even here on YouTube, even though my channel's growing, I don't see like potential. I could put out the children the other book I've been working on right now, and it could start selling, and I still won't see the potential because of my mindset. You understand what I'm saying? There are things that I covet. There are things that I want. I see people in these nice sports cars, and I mention that all the time. And I love those things. Like I'm very attracted to supercars and shit like that, material shit. But I like it, and they exist in this world. And there are things that I could get not working two bare minimum ass jobs. That's not going to work, right? And my mindset tells me, well, if you work two jobs, at least you would have the security. Because if you fall off of one or you fall behind, da da da, you will have the money to prop yourself up. But I see the people that I work with that work two jobs and they're still struggling. It's just a different level of struggling, and they just lack the time, or they're rushing from one job to the other, trying to maintain this week after week, and there's no end in sight, right? There's no end in sight. There's no goal beyond, okay, I'm going to work these two jobs and hopefully something turns around. I can't. The overall me, the logical me can't think like that, because I know that there is nobody just going to come and rescue me. I know that even if I did get a second job, yeah, I'll have some extra money to save here. I'll be able to replace a scooter. I'll be able to replace a switch, things. I'll be able to fix my bike really easily. But the time, I will be rushing from here to there, working on my cartoon would just not exist. Having any type, I don't have a person, a private life. I have no pleasure in my life. The only pleasure I have, I killed a bottle of this last night after I crashed out on my stream last night. I killed this shit, right? Killed me a bottle. That's the pleasure, right? I don't interact with people. I don't have like a group of friends that I hang out with. I don't go out. I already don't have a social life with the one job I have, and the stuff that I try to do here on the internet. It's just there's not a lot of time for it. But when you don't have these outlets, you crash out, bro. You just be like, what the fuck? At some point, it gets to you, whether you know it or not. You may not even see it coming, right? Like I say, it just be one straw that breaks the camel's back. And yesterday for me, that was that switch coming up missing. It just that was like, bro, like when I got off my live yesterday, I sat here and I fucking cried like a baby for an hour. I'm not even afraid to admit that to y'all, because of just all of the emotion just came at me at one time, and just dealing with the fact that I couldn't afford to go to my dad's funeral. I couldn't afford to take off work to do that, even though I have the vacation time. Like I've told you guys countless times before, I make my money in gratuity. Can't take off a week and not get that gratuity to pay. Couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. That the the thought of even getting a second job, and it's just everything was just weighing on me. The fact that and I've spoken about this before, as far as like, you get lonely as a man, like, in me even trying, I don't even want to call it talking, trying to talk to women and trying to relate to people. It just doesn't happen because I am such a mess on the inside. I don't know how to relate to a lot of my contemporaries and to even a lot of you guys, because I'm so in my fucking head. I'm a basket case. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is like, in my mind at any given time, there's a million things going on at one time. I'm here, I'm there, I'm here, I'm there. You understand what I'm saying? I can focus on my work, one thing at a time. When I'm at work, I can focus on work. When I'm doing my cartoon, I can focus on my cartoon. When I can do those things, but everything in between, my brain is like all over the place. Like it's hard for me to wrangle that shit in, because I know that that's like that's survival. That's a poverty mindset. It's like, you gotta keep going. You gotta make sure this is happening. You gotta make sure this is happening. Oh, you gotta be up by this time. It's always that. And I know I need to slow down. Like I say, I'm 42 years old, be 43 later this year. I need to slow that shit down so that my heart don't give out. So that I don't become inundated with disease and malady, because I'm at that age, and killing fifths of fucking whiskey because I'm emotional ain't gonna help that either, right? But fuck, bro, it's been a lot going on, even with just in the last month. And I don't, I'm trying, right? A nigga need a hug sometimes. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. But escaping that mindset, escaping the poverty mindset, it isn't easy, and I know there's a way out. right? And I know there's a way out. I saw, and I know this has nothing to do with me. I'm not a pretty princess, right? But I saw that a woman made a ridiculous amount of thousands off of some of her content. It was spicy content, but for some reason it inspired me because this woman who, wasn't very bright, she wasn't particularly the hottest thing in the world, but she was able to make this money probably because she willed it into existence, right? Just, I'm gonna do this and it's gonna happen, and her expectations in the universe manifested into something else. Whenever I've talked to wealthy people, they don't think of money in terms of scarcity. They think of it in terms of an asset that you use to move ideas and move the things that you want to see accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Whereas me, I'm constantly thinking about how to get it to survive. No, I have to think about how to get it to advance and to make myself better. And everybody's having this money conversation right now because everybody is struggling in their own way. I work with like all these people, and like I said, I work with a lot of people that work at multiple restaurants, multiple jobs, and they still struggling. They still going through it. They still be stressed out. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, like I say, they live on a level that requires that they have that two jobs at that point. Let's say I got my second job, I got me a bigger place. I would have to maintain that bigger place by keeping a second job in order to bring in that money, right? And that's just something that would drain my soul, if I'm being honest with you. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, um, this wasn't a video to give advice. I don't know how to escape the poverty mindset because on top of being poor for most of my life, mm, there's also the obvious like mental shit. And I don't think it's mental shit with me. I think it's trauma because in myself, in my stillness, I'm fine. But when things happen collectively in one instance, it is hard not to feel. And I know that people say, well, you shouldn't cry, you shouldn't, you shouldn't break down, you need to do this. I can't help it, bro. Like, I'm a human, and a lot has happened, and just in life in general. But like I said, over the last year, a lot has happened. So I may have some emotional breakdowns. I may have some emotional breakdowns on camera. It is what it is. Like I say, I have no shame about it. It is what it is. I'm a person. Um, I want to remain a decent person because even in all of this, one of the things that the poverty mindset breeds is, like I said, contempt for society. You develop resentment. You develop envy. You develop wrath and hatred in your heart, and those things erode you as a person. You walk around with a scowl on your face. You walk around ready for confrontation at any moment. Anytime anyone offers any level of kindness to you, you side eye it with a level of skepticism that is almost paranoia. You get what I'm saying? This comes from constantly living in survival mode, constantly trying to go after money the right way. I've never tried to sell drugs. Well, I ain't gonna say the right way my whole life. We did have a little thieves guild for a minute, but that was short lived and it was only against corporations. But besides that, tried to live the right way most of my life, but you still end up in poverty. Some of these people that I'm talking about are older than me, working some people three jobs. One guy I work with, he works two jobs and he do some landscaping. Another guy I work with, he does the restaurant, he does Walmart distribution, and he does one of the casinos out here. And that nigga be tired coming into work. I actually work with him today. He's actually, thing about him, he's the other black guy I work with, and he's the only one when I was living outside that offered me a place to live. And on a consistent basis, he offered for me, come crash on my couch. I don't like putting people out. If y'all was following me around that time, y'all know that I'm very stubborn about not asking for help, or not like try not to take help as much as I can. I try to do it on my own as much as I can because I know that people when they do help you, a lot of the times, and here go that, looking at people being helpful with skepticism, they expect something out of you. And I don't have a lot to offer, right? Besides these words and this insight into my life that can sometimes be very personal, embarrassing, and, you know, TMI. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, if you stay to the end here and you're struggling with getting out of the poverty mindset, just know that it is possible. I don't know how to tell you how to do it because I'm dealing with it myself. And obviously, I'm failing miserably as a sinner because I'm still finding myself at the bottom of a bottle. That's why I look like this. It's 6:33, and I have to be out of here in less than an hour to be at work. Yeah, I see y'all. I see y'all tomorrow. I actually have a video. I actually may have two videos coming out tomorrow because I have a video that was memberships only that's going to go public tomorrow. It's about my experiences with the call girls out here, and I might have some fun, some Friday fun day shit tomorrow too. Maybe a fun video or reaction video. But with that being said, you later. I'll catch y'all later. Later. I'll catch y'all later. Bye, y'all.